is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Today I have another PU match. This one is against Dave from Twitter. So I'm using the same team as I was last time, and looking at my opponent's team, he has a really interesting composition there. So he's rolling with 3 not fully evolved Pokemon in the Flaffy, Ivysaur, and Staryu. So honestly, I didn't really know what to expect from this man. But let's just go ahead and hop into the battle here. Alright, so I had absolutely no clue what this guy was going to want to lead off with, so I decided to lead off with my Eradicate just to get my guts off early, as he leads off with a Luxray. So that's kind of fine with me. I do get intimidated, so Joint's not going to be able to really do a whole lot of damage here, but I am going to go for the Protect on the first turn just to kind of scout out what he wants to go for, as he actually goes for the Electric Terrain right off the bat on the first turn. So that's a move that you do not see very often, and I was kind of like, okay, well, we'll see where this goes. So I'm just going to U-turn out of here. I'm intimidated. I'm not going to be able to do too much damage with Facade, and I don't want Eradicate dying early. So I'm going to get a direct switch into my Sandslash, and I expect him to probably go for some type of electric attack, but he just goes for the Light Screen. So this is proving to be quite the setup Luxray this guy's got here. And my Sandslash is kind of out here. I want to set up my Stealth Rock, just because it will be pretty useful later on, and I don't want to go directly for the Earthquake because he can switch into the Pelipper, which I do expect as he goes into Nigel here, and pretty fitting nickname there as I get up the Stealth Rock. So at this point, I'm expecting him to just go for the Scald or something along the lines of that, as I'm going to switch into my Raichu because I know I can take any attack this thing wants to throw at me, and then I can kind of force it out with the Thunderbolt. But he just goes for the U-turn, which is not very bueno for me because he gets a matchup on whatever he wants against my Raichu. And at least Raichu's out here in his freaking habitat on the electric terrain. He's soaking up all the energies and all that fun stuff as he actually brings out his Flaffy. So here I decided to just go for the Nasty Plot. I really didn't know what this Flaffy wanted to go for. I do have Lightning Rod, so he can't hit me with any electric attacks. He actually just ends up going for the Toxic, which is fine by me. I know that he does still have the Light Screen up, unfortunately, so even with the +2, my best attack on this thing is Focus Blast. So I just decided to go for it here to see how much damage it's going to do. I'm expecting this Flaffy to be Eviolite, pretty bulky, so he actually eats that shit up relatively nicely, as he now sets up a Rain Dance. So that is pretty much what this team is based around. It's Electric Terrain and Rain Dance. So he's got 2 different setup moves, and I thought that was pretty unique. I've never seen that before, and I guess it could be really useful if played correctly. So the Light Screen wears off here. So that's pretty good for me, considering somebody's about to take some pretty decent damage from a Focus Blast. So he's going to bring out the Vine Turtle, another A1 nickname there, as Focus Blast does what it does best, and it freaking misses. So, of course. At this point, Raichu's taking poison damage like it's nobody's business, and I don't really have anything to do to the Ivysaur. So I decided to switch into my Articuno. I figure there's rain up, I can get 100% accurate Hurricanes, and that is pretty damn appealing. Side note, did you guys see how much damage that Sludge Bomb did? Like, holy hell, I'm a legendary bird. I did not expect to take like half from a Sludge Bomb from a damn Ivysaur, but anyway, I'm going to go for the Hurricane as he switches into the Flaffy, taking some Stealth Rock damage, and it's looking like this thing is definitely specially defensive, so I don't trust Freeze Dry to be able to finish this thing off, and he doesn't have any Stealth Rock on my side of the field, so I figure Articuno's worth saving for later on, and I'm going to go into my own special defensive wall, which is my Muck. So I'm expecting probably like Thunder or something along the lines of that, but he actually goes for the Electric Terrain, so at this point, we got all sorts of electricity on the battlefield. It's also raining, and it actually stops, but that's a good thing because that seemed pretty damn dangerous to have electric and rain at the same time. I don't know, but I'm going to go for a Curse here, as I figure this Flaffy probably can't do a whole lot to me, so I'm going to kind of, take advantage of this thing. As he's now going to Volt Switch out of here, get a little bit of boosted damage, but honestly, Muck just soaks that up like he's supposed to do. And he's now going to bring out his Vine Turtle again, which is fine by me because I do have Ice Punch for grass coverage, which is really nice. And I don't really know what this thing really wants to do to me, honestly. It doesn't seem like Ivysaur has a whole lot to do, but he goes for the Nature Power. It is actually going to turn it into Thunderbolt due to the electric terrain. And that did a nice chunk of damage there. This Ivysaur is made to kill. This thing is just honestly dishing out damage, but I get one more Curse up, and at this point I figure I should probably start attacking, seeing as this thing is coming out with some pretty powerful nature powers. So he goes for one more of them. Thunderbolt is actually going to knock me down to 11 HP with a critical hit. Luckily, Muck is a damn trooper, and he's not going to die that easy, and an Ice Punch to the face is going to take out the Ivysaur. So today I learned that offensive Ivysaur is a thing with nature power and electric terrain, so that is pretty cool. But now he's going to go into Polarity, which is his Beartic, and In a last-ditch effort, I'm just going to go for the priority Shadow Sneak just to try to get the Poison Touch, plus I have 2 curses up, so it's going to do a little bit of damage there. Unfortunately, I don't get the poison, and he's able to finish me off with a nice little Icicle Crash. So, down goes Muck, but at least I took care of the Ivysaur, I suppose. And I did a little bit of damage to the Beartic, who could be a problem later on with the Rain if it does get its Swift Swim. But here I decide to bring in my Mr. Mime. I know I'll be able to outspeed with my Choice Scarf, and Psychic would be able to take it out at that health, so I go for it. He actually ends up switching out into his Flaffy here. He's going to take some rocks, and Psychic is definitely going to take that thing out. Honestly, every time I see Flaffy, I think about that one Pokemon movie with Entei. I really don't know why, but that thing is going to go ahead and die, and now he brings out Staryu Ready, and I was like, honestly, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know what this thing wants to throw at me, so as I was sitting there thinking about it, I felt like a pretty safe switch would be to go into Articuno, because this thing kind of just really goes for water moves, right? So he goes for the Surf, and I'm gonna go ahead and soak that up rather nicely, get my feathers a little bit wet, you know, get them ready to go. As here I get thrown off guard as hell. He goes for a Thunder, and that is going to hit, not even in the rain. I didn't even know Staryu could use Thunder, but I just got absolutely destroyed there by a Staryu Thunder. Never thought I would ever see that in my life, but that just happened, and I watched a legendary bird die to a starfish, so I thought that was kind of funny. But I bring out Raichu. The only thing he really has to be able to take attacks from me is his Luxray, so he brings this thing out. Thunderbolt's obviously not going to do a whole lot of damage at all, and I think I decide to switch into Sandslash here just because I figure Raichu is going to be useful later in finishing off that starfish, and I cannot lose to a starfish. I will literally quit Pokemon forever. So with my last 25 HP, I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and switch out here into Sandslash. I know that these things do carry Ice Fang, but I'm max defense, max HP, so I should be able to take that pretty damn nicely. So he does actually predict the switch and go for the Ice Fang, but Knuckles is like, oh, did you bite me, bro? I really couldn't feel you. So that's not going to do very much damage, and I actually expected him to switch out here. So I believe rather than going for Earthquake, I predicted him to switch into his Pelipper, so I went for Toxic, as he actually just stays in and goes for another Ice Fang, which is going to set me a little bit above half, and I get a nice little Toxic on this Luxray, who should be dead to an Earthquake, but I overpredicted a little bit there. So he's going to get his leftovers, he's going to get hurt by a little bit of poison, you know, just doing his thing. As Sandslash, I really don't have any reason to switch out at this point. If he does end up bringing the Pelipper, I could be a little bit screwed, so I did consider going for Toxic one more time, maybe predicting the Pelipper to come out yet again, but he actually just stays in another time and goes for another Ice Fang. He's just biting chunks off my back, as I actually just go for the Earthquake, making the safe play, and that is going to knock the Luxray down to the point where Toxic will actually take it out. So I guess it didn't really matter had I gone for Earthquake the first turn. It would have been a 2-hit KO regardless. So the Toxic is going to come in clutch and kill off old Gibson here. Sorry about it, Luxray. You're awesome looking, but I wish you were a little bit better. So down goes that thing, and at this point, he is going to be able to bring in Nigel, who is the Pelipper. And I honestly don't really have anything to switch into to take this, so I just decided to stay in, and I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to get a nice little free Toxic. I expect to die at this point, but he actually goes for the Rain Dance yet again, which is a little bit threatening considering he does still have the Beartic in the back of his team, who is now going to be fast as hell chilling in the rain. Plus he gets the Rain Dish, which is actually really cool because you never see that ability often. Honestly, I really like this guy's team. Rain Dance, Electric Terrain is pretty freaking cool, but he's going to get hurt by a little bit of poison, and unfortunately Knuckles does not have literally any other attack to go for other than Toxic. I could have gone for Rapid Spin, I guess, so I was kind of lying there. He expected me to switch, so he went for the knockoff, and I wish I had Stone Edge or something. I really need to change up this damn Sandslash moveset, because the only other attacking move I have other than freaking Earthquake is Rapid Spin, so I'm like, screw it, I'm going to go for it. And at this point, I really just kind of want him to kill my Sandslash, but he ends up going for the U-turn. That's not going to do very much at all, and he's going to save his damn Pelipper, so he's now going to go into Polarity, which is the Beartic, and I was like, okay, let's see if this thing has the balls to be able to make some stuff happen. So he goes for the Icicle Crash, and unfortunately, that actually misses. So that's a really terrible miss there. I kind of felt bad. I was like, damn, there was his chance, but he misses the Icicle Crash, but yeah, so that thing's going to die. Now he brings out Staryu Ready yet again, and this thing's actually going to pick up its second kill of the match. Look at this Staryu just putting the team on his back, though. He goes for the Surf. That is going to kill my Sandslash, and luckily, though, at this point, I can just bring in my Mr. Mime, who can outspeed the rest of his team and get some damage. So I go for the Psychic. It is going to take care of the Staryu. It was honestly a great sight to see that thing die, due to the fact it took my freaking Articuno's life. Like, what is that, man? I actually thought it was pretty cool that that happened. But yeah, so now he's going to bring out Nigel. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to take a Psychic, so that is going to be the end of the match there. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed. I thought this was really just an interesting match to show you guys. This guy had the coolest team ever. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later. Peace out.